Dallas Fort Worth. AALAC, the Chasing Your Dream Book Tour and Expo is coming to your area. Mark your calendars, May 18th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have some amazing authors, some amazing business owners that's going to be sharing about their brand. We have some workshop facilitators that's going to be coming out. They're going to be teaching on branding, marketing, and networking. I want you to plan to be in the building, to be educated, empowered, and encouraged. Come out, support. Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Crew Podcast. I am your visionary, Queen Angela. And if you are a diva that's looking to amplify your voice and you're looking for a home, we have space for you. Come on over and join them divas of the airways and amplify your voice.
Aspiring Authors Magazine is a founding sponsor for Da Crew Podcast. Get featured inside the magazine and allow your voice to be heard around the world.
Aspiring Authors Magazine is an international magazine founded in May of 2020 by Queen Angela. Get featured.
At Wings of Transformation Publishing, we are committed to helping our authors reach their goals and pursue their dreams of becoming published authors. We work closely with each author to ensure a successful publishing experience, and we are dedicated to helping them tell their stories in the most meaningful and impactful ways. We look forward to putting you on the path to writing your book.
Mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is the wind that blows from the north, the south, and the east. Oh, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now.
Because I'm back.
Welcome to the SC Book Gal and Friends Chat. We're going to be talking about the latest in book reviews, author interviews, and life. Come on in and join us. We're ready. Are you?
I know you like that. How long you been back, man? I see the girls in the club, they're getting wild for me. And all the
Hey everyone, it's your girl Patrice Grimball, Miss SC Book Gal 843, and it is another Saturday night, so y'all already know what it is. I'm bringing you a new author and a new book. So, okay, ladies, I know tomorrow is our day. I know. So we got tomorrow covered, okay? But you know what? I really think it's about time that we, and I'm speaking for my race in general, okay, you guys, us as African American women, we encourage our men. We place words of affirmations all the time. I love you, I care about you, but let's speak life into their spirit. So I have a gentleman tonight that has written a book for the men, okay? And ladies, again, we got our time tomorrow. Let's give this to the brothers, okay? I am presenting to you tonight Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., okay? Hello, Dr. McKenzie. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Good evening. Yes, I love your introduction, and I appreciate you allowing me to be able to come in on you all's weekend, because y'all, you know how y'all do. Y'all got the whole weekend. It ain't just a day. It's a whole. Matter of fact, it's a whole week.
It was so funny. Because I
So I
was talking to one
appreciate
of my
that.
homegirls today, right? And I was like, you know what? We start advertising for Mother's Day like a whole month ahead. Father's Day, we might see one or two advertisement that Friday, and then we all get together and they cook out on Saturday or Sunday, and the man is still on the grill. But I ain't gonna lie, my uncle do that all the time. But I appreciate you for writing this book, The Power of a Man: Faith, Family, Finance, and the Future. That's a lot of power in that title. So before we get to that title, tell us a little bit about you.
Mhm. Well, sure. I am Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. I am the president and CEO of JNF Enterprises, which is a business consulting firm located here in Baltimore, Maryland. And what we do is we simply we assist entrepreneurs to be able to reclaim their time so that they can be more organized and more structured in having meaningful relationships between family, friends, and the community that they serve as well. Just a little bit about what I do, in addition to being an author as well. Within that is being an author as well too.
So this book, The Power of a Man,
Mhm.
why? What made you sit down there and put
Mm.
all these nuggets in this book?
Here's the thing, and you kind of mentioned it in your introduction. There's so many resources out here for women. There's everything for you all that's out here that you can get access to when it comes to understanding you as a woman, womanhood, and all those things. But there's not a lot of things out here for men. So I wanted to write a book that dealt with us as men and manhood, but also women could glean from it insight, wisdom, and some ideas about who we are as men. And the ultimate goal for the book was to have men to be able to understand our power as men. And when we walk in that power, what happens when you walk in the power of your faith, when you walk in the power of your family, when you walk in the power of your finances, and when you understand walking in the power of your future, which is the legacy that you're leaving. What legacy are you leaving for the next generation? What are you doing to be able to pour into them? And I just felt it was important for us as men to be able to understand that power, but more importantly, walk in that power. Because you can understand it all day, but if you aren't doing anything and if you aren't doing anything to walk in that power and exerting yourself to be in that power and understand it, it does you no good. So that was the aim and the purpose of writing the book. I just wanted us to be better, do better as men. And what better way to do that than to leave to have something that men could use as a guide to be able to understand and then be able to implement, use the tools that I talk about in the book.
Now that is great. That is great. And coming from another man, that's even perfect. So I want to
Mhm.
know what thing, and I don't know if you guys can tell us this, might be in you guys' handbooks. No, y'all,
Yeah,
y'all got
I don't need the brother. I don't need the brotherhood after me, sis. No.
give me the general homeboy answer. Y'all do stuff like that. My question to you is what is one thing that our men are missing from other men? And then I'm gonna ask that question again,
Wow.
twist it. But what are we missing? What are men missing from other men?
Wow. That's a great question. In this day, I think other men are missing um leadership. I think we're missing guidance. I think we're missing structure. Those are the things that we need coming into manhood to be able to understand. And it was part of me writing the book was some of the things that I didn't have growing up, even though my dad was in my life. He was in my life, but he wasn't a part of my life as much as I'd wanted him to be. But he was there. But one of the things that I gained from him was structure, was discipline, was leadership, and a general understanding of what it was to be a man. Now I had because of the just the wonderfulness of my mother. She was adamant about making sure that I had positive male figures in my life, and that I had men that were the example for me, and being able to say, hey, here's some examples for you to be able to use, in addition to your father, in addition to to what I can't give. So it was important. I think those are the things that I see are missing today. I think there's a miseducation of manhood today that is truly missing, and I think it's missing because we as men in the older generation. I'm 55, so I'm the older generation now.
Yeah, you up there.
But the thing that is, you know, so it's what I see is missing. Part of what's missing is that guidance and wanting to be able to instill and showing the next generation what leadership looks like, what manhood looks like in the right way. Because you can find all day, there's plenty of podcasts out here that talk about relationships, talk about manhood. But to me, they're a joke. I call them a joke. I call them the cotton candy podcast, because they don't truly talk about understanding what manhood is. They want to tell you that manhood is what a man's is. The only thing that they talk about is protecting and providing. That's the only thing that you'll hear them say, and it's always from a financial perspective, and it's always from a strength perspective. It's
Oh,
never from the other aspects of protect, provide, and what I call the third piece, which is producing. What are you cultivating as a man? Those are the things that are missing in this day and time, in overall, because I know myself, and the men that I hang with, the men that I roll with, that's what we do all day, every day. We're about that. We're about re-educating men to understand what manhood truly is. So that's what
so
I feel is missing today.
I'm hearing village. Out of everything, I'm
Hmm.
hearing that village. The old
Hmm.
barber talk saying,
Hmm.
whereas
Hmm.
I remember back in the day when my dad had me and my cousins, he would take my cousins to the barber shop, but
Hmm.
we wouldn't, me as the girl, I wasn't sitting there. I would have to go to auntie's house because they were having these conversations. And I know my daddy wouldn't want me to hear these things. So you said the male village. So now I'm going to ask you that question again. What
Okay.
is the male needing from us, as in, and I'm not even, we could take this two ways. We could talk mate wise, and we could talk just women as general. Because I
Hmm.
feel sometimes that we are African American women, and yes, people, I do bring it back. I have to bring it back home because I can't talk to nobody else. Okay,
Right.
we as African American women are, to me, sometimes our male counterparts' worst enemy. I really feel that
Mm,
way.
mm,
We don't let men feel
mm,
comfortable enough to come to us when they need, when they just want to
mhm.
talk. We have that moment to woosah, but they don't get that. I was looking at
Yeah.
social media one day and I saw this young lady, she's about my age, and she just looked at the brother coming in the store and she said, "Brother, smile. You're handsome. You're beautiful." You know, that man broke down in tears because he said, "I'm married. My wife don't even say that to
Mm,
me." And he said, "You didn't come to me incorrect. You
mhm.
didn't come." She said, "Just you saying that to me uplift me." So what are you what are you lacking from your counterparts? Females, males, however that line goes. Yes.
Wow. Wow. I love your questions. These are some powerful, poignant questions. And I think that we as men, what we're missing from our female counterparts, one is that, like you said, just a genuineness from them, but also understanding. We as men have to understand where that comes from. It's not just why aren't The question is why about the example you just gave. Why wasn't that man getting that affection and just that genuine appreciation
Mhm.
from his wife? Why was that such a powerful message coming from someone that he didn't even know? From what you were saying, he didn't even
Yeah.
know her.
If you just saw the look in
And
his
it,
eyes, it was like
yeah,
he was caught off guard. And I understand what she said it,
it,
but he said it. He's like, my wife doesn't even say that to
mhm,
me. He said, I appreciate you. And he started crying. I'm like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. It really is. It's a genuine, that what's missing, that missing piece is a genuine appreciation, a genuine acknowledgement of I see you. I'm gonna give you an example. I had the honor and pleasure of going to Kenya last year, Kihancha, Kenya,
Hmm.
and I went with the team, the Christian Business Owners Association. We went there. It was a team of 7 of us, and we went there for the CBO Summit to be able to do the summit along with teaching the entrepreneurs, the church leaders, and other aspects of over there. But one of the sessions that I was imparted to lead was a session about the power of a man. And so as we were talking and we were over and I was over there, one of the gentlemen, he says to me, he says, Dr. Leroy, he says, we here don't feel like our voice is being heard as men. And it hit me like a ton of bricks because I knew that. I felt that here. I felt that here with us as black men here. But to have someone that was miles away from where I live and in another part of the world saying the same thing that we were feeling here, that we're seen, we're heard, and we're appreciated. That was a powerful, powerful statement to me. So what we could use from our counterparts is let us know that we're seen, let us know that we're heard, let us know that we are appreciated for the things that we do. And we're not talking about the dudes that's not doing what they're supposed to do. We're talking about those men that are doing what they're supposed to do. They get up every single day. They put their foot to the pedal. They work hard each and every day to make sure that themselves, that their families, that their friends are taken, that are appreciated. They're shown affection and everything else. Those are the guys that we're talking about. That we should let them know, and that's all I ask the sisters to do. Let them know that you see them, that you hear them, and that you appreciate them. And that response that man got from that young lady, it will take your relationship. I promise you, ladies. If that's your husband, if that's your boyfriend, if you do those things, those three little things, he will want to conquer the world for you. I promise you.
Okay.
I promise you he will.
Okay. So, ladies, we could do that tonight until midnight, and then we'll start back up Monday.
Right, exactly,
Because
exactly,
we still got a half
exactly.
hour day, and then they got that.
Absolutely.
When's Father's
And,
Day?
and see, it's more than just the day, though, too. It's more than just the day. We should be appreciating you all every day, so that when Mother's Day comes
Yes.
around, yeah, that's a special day. But that should be a thing that happens all throughout the year for both us men and us as women. 'Cause if you're doing that throughout the year, yeah, you can take that special day, but it'd be like, yeah, he do that all the time. Nothing new to him.
And,
So to
and,
make me feel special like that.
and ladies, I'm clapping for us, but then I also have to clap because that's correct. If we do it you might not be able to do it every day, but at least
Yeah.
you can say thank you at least once a day. That is just common courtesy, ladies. So let me ask you a question. Well, let me ask you a question. We interviewing each other, so let me keep on going. What is the biggest takeaway do you want someone from your book? What's the biggest takeaway do you want someone to take?
The biggest takeaway that I want, I'm gonna give you the biggest takeaway I want for men, and then I'm gonna give you the biggest takeaway that I want women to come away that read the book. Because like I said, ladies, this is for you too. But the biggest takeaway that I want men to have from this book, and I said it, to understand your power. Understand that you are powerful as a man. And of course, I'm gonna say it like this: you are powerful as a black man. You have the power within you. You have everything that you need to walk in the power of a man. You just have to be willing to walk in that power. And what the book will give you is an understanding, hopefully, as a man, how to walk in that power. So that's what I want the men to come away with. What I want women, ladies, what I want you all to come away with is I want you to understand the power of a man. And when he walks in that power, he is walking in a true understanding of what it is to walk in his manhood, to walk in his faith, his family, his finances, and his future, and what that does for you as a woman, and how you will be treated when that man walks in his power, and to be able to identify a man that is walking in his power. And when you do that, it makes us as a community. You talked about the village. It makes us as a village so much stronger. There's not one community that has the man walking in his power that is not a strong community. I promise you. So that's what I
Wow.
want the men and the women to walk away with from the book.
Wow. Um, wow. I mean, you said a whole mouthful. So, would you say this book is a book that you can read together as a couple, or do you say this would be one that he would need to read or she would need to read alone and practice, or um take the nuggets that you have given and then apply? Or is this something that a couple can read together and find that understanding?
No, I think it would be wonderful for them to read it together, because here's the thing, Patrice. Here's what happens when the man reads it. He becomes accountable for what he must do. What the woman will get is what she can hold him accountable for what he says he's supposed to become and to do. She can always say, you're not walking in that power, or are you walking in that power as a man? So they begin to have a better understanding. And I think it's a great thing when and it makes for a stronger relationships when we understand ourselves, first of all, as men and women, but then when our counterparts understand who we are as men, and who we are as and who you all are as women, because it gives us a different perspective. It gives us a different lens to be able to look at things. We can't always just look at life through our lens. We have to see it from our counterparts' vision. And am I being authentic to her? Am I being from the man? Am I being authentic to her? For women, you can say, am I being authentic to him? Because if I understand him, if I understand her, then I'm able to be able to say, you know what, yeah, I wasn't thinking about you when I said this, or I wasn't thinking about you when I did this. I was only thinking of myself. And I have to be better at doing that. So I think that's the benefit of having both read it, and have conversation about it, and have a dialogue about it. What do you think about this? What do you think about what the book says about that? Do you think that's true? Do you agree with that? Do you not agree with that?
Their own little
So I think that's a
in-house
benefit for both.
their own in-house book club. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So we have
Right.
we have faith, family, finance, and future. Which one is the easiest and which one is the hardest?
Oh, you did not go there, man. You
Yes.
really? Oh my God. Woo. Which one is the hardest?
I don't know. For
Well, let's
me,
start with the which.
I would say
Mhm.
future might be the hardest. Well, no, I take that
Mhm,
back. Finance, especially in the state that I live in, would be the hardest.
mhm, mhm,
I
mhm,
think the
mhm.
easiest would be,
Yeah,
ooh, faith is kind of hard. Okay, you know what? I give up. Which one do you think? Let's do the easiest first. Which one do you think is the easiest?
yeah. Well, I think I think the family would be the easiest to me. I think, and the reason I say that is because if you as a man understand your power that you have within the family dynamic, I think, and you know your role in the family. I think it makes it easy for you to operate in that, and especially if you're surrounded by people who understand within your family, who understand the family dynamic and understand you. It's easier for you, I think, to walk in that. The hardest, I will be honest with you. I think the hardest is the faith
I was going to say that one.
because walking in your faith, it requires you to it requires you to have what I talked about earlier today. It requires you to have a personal value system that you hold yourself accountable to. And it requires you to hold yourself accountable, or as they say, Patrice, submit. We know men like to use that word for women and tell y'all to submit,
Word.
but here it is. Understanding your power of as a man in your faith means you understand how to submit to God, and understand that you don't make decisions, you don't make any decisions without consulting Him. He dictates what you do, how you do it, where you do it, when you do it. Are you man enough? Are you man enough to submit to God and to have someone show you, tell you what it is that you can do, and use Him to be able to guide you in your life, in your with your family, in your because everything else stems from that, in your family and your finances and in the future. Everything else stems from that. So that's the hardest one, I believe, because it will test you. It will test you because you holding yourself accountable. I'm gonna give you my really quick 7 principles that I make my choices by and I live my life by, and that's wisdom, vision, uniqueness, commitment, consistency, excellence, and accountability. Those are what guide my faith. Those are what guide my decisions that I make as a man, and understanding the power that I have when I walk in those 7 principles, and walk in that power in those 7 principles in each of these aspects that I talk about here, in your faith, in your family, in your finance, in your future.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So, which chapter am I going to get all the meat and
Mm.
potatoes? Now, I can deal with the appetizers. I can deal with the dessert. I want the meat and the potatoes. What chapter am I looking at? Because I'm gonna go to
I
that
love
chapter
it. I love it.
first.
I love it. Yes, yeah. So you see, look at you. She like, damn, we don't need to go first.
I come
I'm gonna
back
give
and
you. I'm gonna give you this one. This is this, and
okay.
then that's it. I think this chapter sets the stage. It sets the stage for the entire book to me. And when I wrote it and I gave it the name, I was like, "Ooh, it's gonna cause some controversy with folks." And it's actually chapter 2, and it's called "Why Men Don't Go to Church."
Oh, he went
And
there.
so I talk about what are the deterrents, what are the deterrents, or why is it that men say that they don't go to church? What's the excuse that they use for not going to church?
So
Or
what's
what's
this
the
here?
reasoning that they have?
Okay, so you
Well,
got
I'll give you one of them. Yeah, one of the main reasons that men say that they don't go to church, because, like I talked about earlier, about being seen, being heard, and being respected. A lot of men feel that they don't go to church because they aren't being seen or heard in church. The sermons are geared towards the women of the church, not necessarily the men of the church. It's not done in the language of men. It's done in the language to appeal more to women than men, and that's because the majority of churches have their population is what? Most of their
Male
congregation is women.
females.
You
Yes.
find, yeah, you find very few churches that have majority of the church is men. Now you have some churches that have a high percentage of men that go there, like my church. It was one of the reasons that drew me to my church. And I'm talking, my church is probably about 40% men. 40% out of that 100%. That means there's 60% of the members of the church are women. So a lot of times when pastor, now my pastor is different because his emphasis has always been the men of the church. He is adamant about making sure that we understand who we are as men and taking our rightful place as men. But a lot of other churches, a lot of churches, their sermons, what they do, even the ministries that they do, is geared towards the female congregation versus having things within the church that deal with men issues. Most churches, a lot of churches, don't have ministries that deal with the issues that men deal with, at
Wow.
least not seriously. Yeah.
Huh.
So I know this may upset some folks because I'm talking like this and talking about the church, but it's true. If you delve into the reason, so when you delve into the reasons why men say this is men telling us why they don't go to church. It's because we don't feel like we're being seen. We don't feel like we're being heard. We don't feel like we're being respected in the church.
Wow.
And
Okay.
and so if why would I want to be somewhere where I feel like I'm being seen, where I'm not being seen, I'm not being heard, and the message isn't geared towards me. So that's probably one of the biggest that sets the tone for me, set the tone for the rest of the chapters and the rest of understanding the power of a man. Because if you don't have that that foundation of faith, you don't have something that you look to that's bigger than you, then you think that you are your own God. You think that you are the God of women. You're the God of everything else when we're not.
Wow.
When we're
So
not.
what would be what would you say to the men, the young men of this generation that 18 to, let's broaden it. Let's say 18 to 30. What would you say to them? If they were to come to you and ask you
Mm.
for one great piece of advice, what would you say to them?
Here's what I tell them. I tell them um, understanding manhood is something that takes time. When they're 18 to 30, I was there. We think we know everything. We think we got the answers to everything. We think we're invincible. We think that there's nothing that can happen to us. But when you begin to think of yourself as a 18 to 35, 18 to 40, those young adult years, use those young adult years purposefully. Use it to understand, have your vision, to develop your vision. Know where it is that you want to go to. If I'm talking to my 18, 20-year old self, develop your vision. You know, understand who it is that you're surrounding yourself with. I know we that's the age where you're trying to figure things out, and that's true. Where you want to party and have all of the fun and everything like that. I'm not saying don't have fun, but you want to be mindful so that, as Muhammad Ali said, if you spend from the age 20 to age 40 and you haven't grown, you've just wasted 20 years of your life. Don't waste 20 years of your life. And be purposeful, be mindful, understand, figure out who it is that you want to be. And make the decisions that you make in your 20s, in your 30s. Make those decisions understanding who it is that you want to become. And it takes discipline. That takes discipline, it takes commitment, it takes consistency. It'll be one of the hardest things that you ever do in your life. But if those that are successful men, those that are men that walk in their power, they understand that even in their 20s, even in their 30s, even in their 40s, they have that understanding. So I tell them that regularly. Understand that power. You have the power already. You just have to understand how to walk in it and utilize the tools that you're gaining in order to be able to walk in. So that would be my advice to them. Oh, I think you're on mute because I can't hear you.
My mic is doing something crazy. I said that was
There
awesome.
you go.
I have
Yeah,
a
there you
21-year-old son, and I tell him all the time. I said, son, I know you want to become a man, but I said, but I need you to get a vision. I need you to know exactly what you want to do.
go.
And then when
Hmm.
you figure out what you want to do, find a way to
Hmm.
execute it. So,
Yep.
okay. So all these nuggets, you already tell me which chapter to look at in the book. You already told me which one was the hardest. Now you have to tell me how our readers and our listeners can follow you on social media, or how would they contact you in case they want to talk more about the book, or maybe even say, hey, I would like you to come talk to a group. So how would they be able to contact you?
Hmm. Sure, absolutely. They can connect with me through. So I'm on the major social media platforms. I'm on Facebook. You can put in Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. My company name. I have page as well as JNF Enterprises. If you put in either one of those, Dr. LJ Speaks. I am on LinkedIn, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. as well. I'm on YouTube. I have a goal, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning it. My goal is to get 500 subscribers in 30 days. So you can go to my YouTube channel. You can put in Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. or JNF Enterprises. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I have a number of digital content that I have on there that
So as you can see, he's on LinkedIn, all your major social media networks, and his book, The Power of a Man, Faith, Family, Future,
H,
and
they can go to
Finance.
HTT. I'm
No, go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead. You were frozen.
Oh,
Don't
they
worry.
can go to, yeah, they can go to the LinkedIn page if they want to purchase the book. Of course, they can go to http colon / link linktr.ee /JNF Enterprises, and they can order the book from right there, or they can DM me as well too. They can DM me or shoot me an email at JNF Enterprises LLC at gmail.com. Those are the different ways that they can connect with me. As Coach Prime says, I ain't hard to find. So
Well, we appreciate you being here with us tonight at SC Book Gals and Friends. It was such an honor for us ladies to take a time out for our weekend to make sure and find out some information for our brothers. So I think, ladies, this would be a great Father's Day gift. We don't have to wait till the weekend.
yes, Father's Day is coming.
It's in June, right? I'm sorry. It's in
Yes, ma'am. It is. We're gonna do, and I'm purposely gonna do like a countdown to Father's Day because, like you mentioned, Mother's Day. We know you can't go to a restaurant on Mother's Day. You are not finding a restaurant that you're not gonna have a wait for. Father's Day is another whole story. You can go to any restaurant you want to and go to a restaurant, but we want to make sure that we acknowledge and that we let the fathers know that we see them, we hear them, and that we appreciate them. We want to let them know, Dad, we see you, we love you, we appreciate you, just as we're doing for mothers on Mother's Day and all those things. Yeah, we've moved beyond the ties, y'all. We moved on beyond the ties and the sweaters for Father's Day. Let's step the game up for them as well.
What we gonna get y'all now? We can't give y'all no ties, no sweaters. I mean, what we supposed to get y'all now? Hold on.
You can even here's a great gift, real quick. And I know we talk about mothers. No, you give him it's a spot called there's some that where they do, it's like a man cave, but they can go and they can get like they can get a haircut, they can get a manicure, pedicure, they can get all of those things, but it's done in the ambiance of like a man cave. They have these things for men. Send him to do something like that where he can be pampered. He can be done that way. That's a great gift. In addition to the book, The Power of a Man. In addition to the book, send him in and say, let him go get pampered for a day. Treat him, let him get treated. Like the king that he is. So
that's a good idea. I never thought about pampering a man. And see them get, I think I'll be laughing.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why I can't go in there, because I'll be laughing. Like, you remember that time you got your nails done and you had a joint? Thank you for being with us tonight. Please keep us informed of any adventures that you may have going on so we can share it to our male audience.
Absolutely.
And we just thank you, because that's something that, and you guys, listen, now here's a nugget. This book was...
No, thank you for having me. I truly appreciate the opportunity, and I thank you. Like we said, we know this is Mother's Day weekend, so I appreciate you doing this show about men and the power of men, and you deeming it not not intruding on you all to be able to talk about men, manhood, and what we can do as men to be able to become better men for you all and for the community.
Thank you. Well, we thank you for joining us tonight, Dr. McKenzie Jr. Ladies, for me, I want to say happy Mother's Day, and just to give you a little message that I will not be with you guys next Saturday night. My baby girl is getting an award, so mommy duty comes first, but I will miss you guys. But on Sunday, next Sunday the 19th, I'll be introducing you to another new host on the Crew podcast. Her name is Miss Shawnette, and her platform is about incarceration. And she's going to help you with those families. If you have one that's incarcerated and you need some answers, she's going to be your backbone. So May 19th, join me here, 8:00, and you're going to meet Miss Shawnette. Again, ladies, happy Mother's Day. I love you all, and I will see you all on the 19th. Thank you again. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you found a new book to read or a new author to explore. Join us again in 2 weeks for SC Book Gals and Friends Chat. Have a good evening. Bye.